everybody. My name is Alex, and I am going to try to explain, from an objective point of view, the worldview of the death penalty. First of all, I have to point out that its application is still not against the customary international law. These are some laws that most of the countries must address. However, in this world where we are 195 countries, over the half of them, exactly 137, have abolished it. In 2008, the vast majority of the executions occurred in Asia and the Middle East, and in another country, the United States. The countries with the most confirmed executions were China, a communist country with no clear information really, Iran, a country that doesn't maintain diplomacy with some countries over the world, another country like Iraq, nothing to say about it, Saudi Arabia, a country with not recognized political parties nor national elections, and the United States, a democratic and constitutional country. Nowadays, Europe and Central Asia are virtually free of the death penalty. Okay, this is the first part of it, more or less a worldview of it. On the second part, I am going to talk about the religious point of view. The Buddhism, Judaism, and Hinduism are really opposite of the death penalty. But on the other hand, we have the Islam that really accepts the capital punishment, and the Christianity. Historically, the Christian churches has accepted the capital punishment as one of the ways to maintain the coherence in the societies. According to the CIA, in the United States, the 80% of the society are Christian. But could we justify to use the capital punishment here just because this 80% of the society is Christian? No. The United States is officially a secular nation. The First Amendment forbids the establishment of any religious governance. So there is no way to justify the capital punishment from the religious point of view. And last, I am going to talk about the United States and its democratic and developed status. Amnesty International, an entity working to protect the human rights, has stated recently that the global trend is to eliminate the capital punishment. And they have also detected some clues that are showing that the United States are also going to eliminate it. Since so many people over the world and so many entities over the world are isolating this country just because the death penalty cases. The United Nations, as you may know, is like a worldwide government. The United States is, of course, a member of it. Has also shown its desire to forbid the capital punishment. On the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, exactly in the 3rd article, it states that everyone has the right to life. For example, we also have the International Court of La Haya, the judicial organ of the United Nations, that whenever a death penalty case occurs in the United States, it condemns that action. And summarizing, just I have to say that only 3 fully developed countries over the world still maintain the death penalty: Singapore, Japan, and the USA. But let's take a look at some issues about Japan and Singapore. Japan, okay, we can say that it's a democratic country, but Japanese system lacks of some important issues on any democracy, like the commission system, public hearings, referendums, autonomous local governments, non-profit organizations. So could we say that it is a real democracy? And what about Singapore, where there is only one political party? And finally, just some historical comments. The death penalty has been practiced in poor and authoritarian states, employed it as a tool of political oppression. For example, the European Union, just to show that its desire not to be composed like of this kind of countries, strictly requires every member state not to practice the death penalty. And that's
Alright, my name is Travis. Since the colonial times in the U.S., about 13,000 people have been legally executed. Now they get like the world view. In 2008, 2,390 people were legally executed around the world. Of those 2,390 people, only 37 were executed by the United States. And 1,718 of those 2,390 people were executed by China. But not every country has capital punishment. Since World War II, there has been a push for abolishing the death penalty. As of February 1st, 2009, 92 countries had completely abolished capital punishment. Some countries, after abolishing the death penalty, restated it later on, such as the U.S., India, and Sri Lanka. In the Philippines, the U.S. had no capital punishment in the whole country from 1972 to 1977. And after that, they allowed the separate states to decide if they wanted to have it or not. As of today, 10 other countries have laws that call for the death penalty for exceptional crimes only. Some of the exceptional crimes include certain places like China, if you get caught trafficking humans, and like government corruption is punishable by death. Certain militaries around the world have capital punishment for cowardice, desertion, insubordination, and mutiny. Most capital punishment is reserved for murders, espionage, treason, and some extreme cases of rape, incest, and sodomy. Also, some Islamic nations have when religious crimes are carried out, they're also punishable by death. With 92 countries outlawing capital punishment and 10 others having capital punishment for exceptional crimes only, 32 other countries have capital punishment but don't execute or have not executed anyone in 10 years. And another 64 countries retain and still use the capital punishment system today. So when people make a big deal about the U.S. having capital punishment and using it, I think they should take a look at the other 63 countries in the world that also have carried out and still use capital punishment. As said before, the U.S. has only executed 37 people out of millions and millions last year, 2008. But they're still in the same category with such countries as China, who executed nearly 2,000 people in 2008, and Saudi Arabia executed well over 100 people in 2008 also. We execute 37 people out of millions, and we are looked at as a monster nation. The greatest good for the greatest number of people is what I think. If executing one person saves other people's lives, then I think we should do it. Do you want 2 or 3 times convicted child molester and rapist, or serial killers or terrorists out running around your neighborhood, and let them off again and then go out and do the same thing again? When other living things such as dogs or exotic animals attack or bite someone, they aren't usually put down the first time. When they have to do the same thing again, bite or someone attacks them again, they're usually put down because they are said to be dangerous and inhumane to be alive. When someone commits a horrible crime numerous number of times, and they are not going to be rehabilitated or mindset changed, so they should also be put down to protect the rest of society. I want to say something else in my notes. There's Governor Brad Henry of Oklahoma signed a bill into law that permits the death penalty for anyone convicted of a second or subsequent rape, forcibly sodomy, lewd molestation, or rape by instrumentation of a child under 14 years of age. And also the governor of South Carolina signed the same similar bill on the previous day as the governor of Oklahoma. So I think we need capital punishment to protect certain people like that, like especially children under 14 years of age who are being sodomized and raped.